Like, when did it realize Guti when are you like Abafana and not the
I was in
girlies?
denial. I was in denial for the longest time because for the fact that I did have a girlfriend in my life, it means
no. What? How old were you? Why were you dating a girl?
Sure. I think this is the first time I mentioned this on an interview. But I was high school, 14, 15.
When did it? This is recent.
Don't judge.
Like, this
Don't
is
judge.
recent.
I can't do no small talk, no small talk. I'm not with the small talk. Can't be with the small talk.
Hey, what's up, my family? Sima, Fiyo here. And today, darling, I am bringing you yet another exciting episode of 5 Unscripted. Because right in front of me, I've got Emoji, right?
Okay.
Moghelingz.
Okay.
Indomazana the boy. That is who I have with me today. TikTok sensation, 1.9 followers right now on TikTok. And of course, 44.4 likes. What do you do, baby?
And we just hit that 1 million in like 2 years ago.
Ooh, you
Yeah.
just had to tell us that, like, it didn't take you 50
Yeah, it
years.
didn't take me much.
No, you just woke up one day and you were just 1.9 million.
On a random day.
Oh, yeah.
That's my life.
You were just shopping with your mother. And you're like, 1.9 million followers on TikTok.
No, but I still get excited, eh?
Ne?
Like I still like, yes. You know? Yeah, I still get excited.
I love the fact that you're excited because we are excited for you. And it means that you respect what you do, you love it, you enjoy it, and you just want to grow. Tomorrow we'll wake up,
Yes.
you'll be on 2 million.
I mean, I think a few weeks from now,
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Definitely. But I mean, I want to ask you real quick now. How do you feel about dreams?
As in like dreams, like the dreams that we want to achieve or the
Molala.
dreams.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take them very seriously, and that's mainly because I come from a very spiritual family. So I do take dreams seriously, and I don't downplay them at all. But I hardly dream, you know.
Really?
Yes, if I'm not dreaming, then I do dream about something, then wake up in the morning and I forget everything, you know. But there are some dreams that I happen to remember and ask my mom about them if they mean anything specific or if they are trying to send some form of communication to me. So yeah, I do take dreams very seriously.
Well, I had a dream about you.
Sima. Yeah. Okay. When did this happen?
I can't remember. I think it was in December.
Okay.
For me, now, when it comes to dreams, it's very
Okay.
strange.
Okay.
Because I'm on the internet a lot because that's where we work,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes I just randomly start dreaming about people. And I'm like, I don't even know Moghelingz. Like, why am I dreaming about Moghelingz?
Okay.
Like, what the hell is happening? So, for me, what happened was you were at my place. And we were just chilling. Like, we were all buddies. We were friends. And then, but for some reason, it's like when you came in, I didn't see the car you drove in with.
But
Like the one you were driving.
Yes.
And then when we came out, I saw your car. And I was like, Moghelingz drives this car. I was judging you, basically. It wasn't the nicest car in
Okay.
the world.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. Then I woke up. And then a couple of weeks later, there's
posted my
Moghelingz. Literally, you bought a car. And I was like, guys, Ozani, give me.
Oh, you lie.
I was like, Ozani, give me, come and consult. Like, come at this point. Because I was
No,
like,
that's
what?
crazy.
Yes, that's crazy, actually. Let me not joke about it. It's actually
And
crazy.
I don't think you're the first person to tell me that because also there's another family friend who told me that because I never told anyone that I'm going to get a car, even my mom, you know. So I went to get the car. I just wanted to be a surprise and also to be a birthday gift to myself. But most importantly, I wanted to surprise my family. So when I went home, everyone was just shocked that I got a car. And this other family friend of mine came and said, you know, a week before, I dreamt of you coming with a car. And I was just like, okay, that's crazy, you know, that's crazy. But I do believe that you did dream about that. You know, I don't know how, but
For me, it's always crazy. Some of my dreams really shock me. Because I was like, 1 and 2. Hi, guys,
They
Ginevis, so
connect.
now I have a gift. Guys,
do
I
you
have a
believe
gift.
that you do have a gift?
Okay, why am I joking a lot today? Let me be serious actually for a second. I do believe that I do have some sort of spiritual gift, but then for me, at home we don't do traditional stuff.
Yeah.
So my gift is for the church.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I believe that I would be able to dream about something that's yet to happen in the future. Or I don't know, but my dreams most of the time say something. So I do believe that there's something, but I don't take it seriously.
Don't take it seriously.
I take it for a ride. Like things like this, for example, where you get a ride.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, crazy. And then something else gonna happen rather. Then I'm gonna be like, oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, God, what is this?
Yes.
Like, what is this? Let me actually take it seriously, because I feel like it could help me and a lot of people around me.
That's true. I think you should also like just pray about it. And like you said that you come from a family that goes to church. I think also like praying about it to ask God to show you what it is or how to go about it moving forward will actually help you, help other people and also help yourself too.
Yeah.
But that's super dope.
Yeah, but we're here for you today.
Sure.
We're here to celebrate you.
We just had to start
very deep, very deep.
Yeah.
I'm in 2000 are deep after all. Yeah, because people always come for us.
Yeah.
They always do.
Listen.
What's the worst you've heard about 2000?
Yo.
I've
heard the worst things, I've heard the worst things about 2000s. But I'm also 2000. Why am I talking like I'm not part of this generation? But there's a lot of things that these kids do, hey? I can't think of any right now.
Because there's just so much.
But they just do the most extreme things. I think that is why they are the first generation in SA to do what we're doing.
100%.
Because they're just fearless and they want to take the world up by storm.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy to watch.
I'm at 2000. We are the generation
Yeah.
that confronts our parents.
Yes.
Like, we want to know why.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me to not go to Groove. Why?
Why? Babe, tell me.
Tell me. I want to know.
I mean, that's very true. And so some people, it can come across as disrespect, but I think when you sit down and take a listen to what we say most of the times and our reasoning, you'll understand that actually they do have a point, and I think we're also that generation that is, obviously we were born, in an era where we are not deprived of freedom, and I think the reason why our parents always think that we're disrespectful is because they haven't got the opportunity. They didn't get the opportunity to say what they wanted to say for the longest time, and also like growing up in African families, there are things that you can't say, or ask your mom, like you're saying, why can't I go to Groove?
Yeah.
Just give me a reason so I know, So I think we're just that generation that's just fearless and we want to get our answers, man. Like, why?
We are literally the turning point for Black people and just young people in this country.
True. I do believe that too.
But I mean, for you, growing up, I know for a fact that you didn't know that you were gay. Or maybe even if you knew you were gay, you were shying away from it. Like, when did it realize, Guti, when you like Abafana and not the
I was in
girlies?
denial. I was in denial for the longest time because for the fact that I did have a girlfriend in my life, it means...
No. What? How old were you? Why were you dating a girl?
Sure. I think this is the first time I mentioned this on an interview. But I was high school, 14, 15.
When did it? This is recent.
Don't judge.
Like,
Don't
this
judge.
is recent.
Please don't judge me.
I don't judge you. It's just funny.
Nah,
It is.
You can't see it happening. It's every time I tell my friends, guys, but I'm not going to share what's I. I can lie.
You need to do a video like that.
About it.
Please, you have to.
I think I'll do a story time
Please.
about it. But yes, I did have a girlfriend. And it wasn't because I was running away from what I am. I genuinely liked her. Like, I liked her so much, and how...
I like that because not a lot of people
Yes.
actually get to say that.
Yes, it wasn't because I was trying to like run away from the fact that I'm gay or hiding it or, camouflaging it. I really liked her as a person. And yeah, man, we just had a great time by that time. And but it's crazy because I dated boys before and I dated her But I was still trying to find myself in
Yeah,
the
I
midst
think
of
that's
all
what
of
it
that.
was. Mm,
So I did genuinely like her. We were in a relationship, and it happened that as we were growing, I figured out good time, man. I think I like boys more, I'm sexually attracted to men, and I told her, I was like, yo, I really like you, and we had a great time. But I also feel like me continuing with you, knowing very well that I don't feel the same way I felt a few months ago when we got into a relationship is so unfair for you. So I'm taking this route now. This is where stop
That was very
And
mature of you.
yeah.
And even how highly you speak of her and the relationship, it shows your maturity. Because I know Guti, someone else in this situation right now, we're like, I used to take girls and then make fun about it and move on.
Yes.
But it's the fact that you're being honest about how genuine it was,
Yes.
I love that. You're also a very genuine person.
I am.
But I mean, when did you come out of the closet now for your family to even see? I think they've always known, but you officially,
when I was a family, so I came out to my family in 2019. I think I was doing grade 2018. I was doing grade 10. So I've always been like a performer. I've always been that kid, who would go to the stage and like hype the crowd, perform, So in 2018, I used to host these Valentine's balls that used to happen in high school, and I'd be the host and everything. So it had happened that in 2018, I think I was doing grade 10, and I was hosting one of those, and I was just so excited, man. About that year. I don't know what was it, but I was just so excited, and I had recently fell in love with makeup.
Okay.
So I was like, actually, people haven't seen me in makeup, and let me just go on stage with makeup, with hair, and see their reaction, And I happened to go on stage that particular day. I was performing with my teacher's hair. My favorite teacher was just like, I'm happy that you're doing this. I've been waiting for you to do this, and I'm glad that you finally took the step to show people
who you
are. Babe, let me tell you something. I've never felt so powerful. I was just there dancing. My friends were screaming, people taking videos, and I felt so good after. I was like, yes, I did that.
You're the girl.
I did that, So I used to have guy friends that I used to go to school with. So it was quite shocking for them because, hey, what did this boy just do?
What's this now?
Man, But I was just like, yeah, I did what I did. I was just like fed up with like holding back, and it happened that with the videos that they took, it got to my mom.
Okay.
How? I get my grandma. My grandma's home, and I was best friends with my grandmother. So I get home like, yo, go. I'm trying just calling. Yes, I was performing, wig, hair, makeup, everything, And she was just like, okay, let me see the pictures. I show him the pictures. Like, oh, I'm like, you see, And my mom comes back from work.
So wait, just hold on. So your granny saw you in a wig, makeup and everything.
Yes.
She's like, oh, nothing.
Yes,
nothing else.
Nothing more, nothing less. In your opinion, she was just like, oh, okay, you look very beautiful, I think my family thought this was going to be like a phase.
Okay.
And in case of work, I'm done, My mom came back from work and she saw the video. She didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. I was like, as in singing again. I went to her. I showed her the pictures that I took. She was like, oh, boy. Did you get that with the hair on? Just like, boy. I'm like, oh, thank you. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I guess now they know. That was me coming out to them, basically.
Okay.
Wow. That was when I started this persona Moghelingz on social media now with hair and makeup, And my aunt saw me on social media trending, with hair. This girl looks like a boy. So my aunt was just like, Aibo,
Banele, what's happening here?
I get a call. She's like, Batung, why am I seeing this on social media? Why am I not the first person to know that you've came out? I'm like, oh, I don't know, but I just thought you guys knew. She's like, no, we didn't know. We're just waiting for you to let us know. I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I'm gay. And yeah, this is me. Oh, she was so excited, And it happened that this other time, my one of the neighbors was talking to my mom. She had came to our place and she was talking to my mom. And it was a thing with, hey, Baneli has two, so what's happening now?
What's
so,
happening?
Neighbors are coming to my place to talk to my mom. Would say, hey, manje.
Others are gossiping.
And I overheard my mom saying, so my neighbor was asking, ukuthi, hey, bo, Baneli manje on social media, what's happening? And my mom was like, anginamntana okay, mina. Akunamntana ozoba gay la endlini. I was like, how? Back to square one. I thought we were going somewhere, hey?
How did that make you feel?
I was so upset. My heart. I was so upset and also like scared at the same time because I said, that me showing them what makes me comfortable.
Was you being vulnerable?
Yes, So when I heard that came from my mom, I was just like, okay. Hamzala bengithi siya. And then the neighbor was just like, man, and my mom was just firm and it's just like, no. She was like, man, man, and it was a thing, it was a thing. And we never spoke about it with my mom. And then she talked to my aunt, the one that had called me, and she told her about this whole thing. And my aunt was like, okay, hold on. I was still staying in Mpumalanga, right? She was like, hold on. She drove all the way from Gauteng to Mpumalanga.
To fetch you?
Family meeting. Abomkhulu.
Oh,
Nabogogo.
not Abomkhulu.
Yeah.
Everyone.
She was like, come here, sit down. Yes, family meeting. She was like, greetings, family. I hope you guys are good.
Wait, this was really formal. Greetings.
It was very formal. It was. I think that was the first ever family meeting I'd witnessed. I was like, okay, this is formal. They're like, sit here. She was like, sit here next to me. I sat. I didn't even know that it was about my sexuality.
Oh wow, you thought maybe it's about something else.
She was like, so you guys do know that we have a gay child in the family, right? And what we're not gonna do is to judge him. What we're gonna do is to give him support and realize and acknowledge that we have a queer child in the family. We do see these things on television. It's not something new to us. I think by now we do have an idea of what it is.
100%.
So for you guys to act like you don't see what's happening and act uneducated about it would be very, very, very ignorant of you guys. So this is Banele and he's gay. And he was so serious about it, and I saw my mom's like face changing, like she was so upset. She was super, super upset. And, but because it's her bigger sister, which is my aunt, and I think that meeting made her understand what was happening, and how serious and formal it was, I think made the family realize, so actually this is a serious conversation, because there are queer children out there, who are not accepting their families, who have to hide this thing. And let me tell you something, Sima, this is the hardest thing to hide ever. You just can't hide it. You just can't hide it. And there are kids who just can't talk about it to their families about it. And it hurts, I know. So
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Sorry to interject, because imagine when you're in varsity, because a lot of people who are in the closet like to study away from home, like away from their hometown, province. Maybe someone is from the EC like me, and they study in Johannesburg. Here in Joburg, I'm Moghelingz, crop top, makeup. The minute they need to take a bus, Siamtanda now from the Eastern Cape, Grootman needs to come out.
Yes. I'm sure it was worse now in December because people had to go back home. Can you imagine how frustrating and how hard that is, having to deprive yourself, from something that you love because
who you are.
Exactly. That's the most hardest thing ever, hiding who you are. It hurts. It's so draining. And one thing I'm gonna say on this platform, and try to use this platform, if there's any parents watching or like any family member, if you do know that you have a queer child in the family, please talk to them and allow them to be themselves, because I do get DMs like, yo, Moghelingz, you really boost my confidence and I really want to know how you came out to your family. Like, how did you gain so much confidence to stand firm in who you are, And I always tell them that my family accepting me was part of me falling in love with myself more and being able to express myself.
So that
So
you
I really
embrace
hope,
yourself.
especially African parents, I just really hope that they see us and they see that it's okay to, it's a thing for a young boy to be queer and still do what they love and still succeed in everything that they do. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't take anything away from you. Yeah, man, I just wish they could be more acceptive and communicate with their kids,
And just allow them to be themselves.
Yes.
But I mean, when you started telling me the story of how your aunt gathered everyone, she was the one protecting you, number one. And she spoke up for you in a situation where you couldn't speak up for yourself. And now it doesn't give any family member the opportunity to bully you.
Yes.
Or to, even if they gossip about you, it's fine.
Yes.
But never in your face.
Yes.
Never really around other family members, because everyone is with you. Everyone is backing you. Everyone is supporting you.
Yes.
However, you did say that in that moment, your mother's face kind of changed.
Yes.
And she was like really upset and not really receptive of the new Banele.
Yeah.
Right? But then at what point did that transition to her being like, "Ay, ngani yami, umzala wami, chomi yami, I love him, this is my child"?
African parents are. So when obviously everyone had to leave after that meeting, after a few days, Abamkul, they went back, and it was shocking for me for coming from them saying, "Hi man, I asnakinga and I siyamthanda." I was just like, okay, per
Don't
grandfather.
go make me cry.
It was so emotional. But I was so afraid that what if as soon as my aunt leaves, it's just like also back to square one, But it was better. The situation got better after that meeting happened. But when my mom actually got comfortable with everything, I think it was also when I now started like cross-tracing, and also building this social media persona. She was just like, okay. She was starting to calm down a bit. She was like, okay, this is happening.
This is it.
Yeah, and I think when I started then receiving audience or getting eyes from social media, because superstar, because obviously when you walk estradini, you do bump into people that know you. They're like, "Hi man,
Moghelingz."
you shine to on social media, And I think that also like gave her that confidence to like be proud of who I am. And I think it also helped her realize that as much as I'm a queer boy, I'm still able to succeed in everything that I do. Like I said, to do good, basically. So yeah, but as time goes, man, I'll be sharp girl, and I know my number one supporter.
Oh, of course
My
she is.
biggest fan.
I saw your YouTube video with your mom.
Yes.
Oh,
You
that
watched
was
that?
I did. That was very cute. No ways you were gonna get that scholarship with her. Yeah.
Yo, no.
And it's like, I wanted to krumang espaza.
Yeah, like fuck it, because she used to have a spaza at home and she would sell snacks and sweets, So with that prank, you just had to lie and say that they're doing something else, and she was like, "Hi, but the fuck, I could spring things at my eyes or what,
But what do you appreciate the most about your relationship with your mother right now?
Right now, one thing that some of the thing that I appreciate about my mom right now is how much she shows care for me, that now that I'm in the public space and I often get trolled on social media, as much as I have this number of followers, I think there's still that element of this is still my kid, and I still need to make sure that he is fine, all the time. So I think my mom has shown so much concern and care ever since I stepped into the entertainment industry because
she's your safe
of
haven.
how brutal it is. You know, she makes sure that I'm mentally okay every day. When she sees something on the news article or on Twitter, she calls and she's like, "Pati kwenzakalani? Right." And I'm just like, no, I'm fine. You know, if it's lies that I said about me, I do say. If it's true, I do say, oh, here's the background story. You know, and she just always supports me and shows care. And I'm still her baby at the end of the day, and she doesn't want anything with me, you know, like she doesn't want like anything to hurt me at this point. Yeah, so that's one thing I appreciate about her.
That's beautiful. I mean, you do have a great relationship with your mother. She gave birth to your child. She raised you. I mean, it's because of her.
Yes,
True. And that's absolutely beautiful.
True.
But I mean, on the other side, your dad wasn't there.
My dad wasn't there.
How did that affect you? Or is it still affecting you?
It's still affecting me. It's still affecting me. And crazy, this is the first time I also speak about my dad in an interview. I guess this is how I start my year. But my dad was never there. I was raised by my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother. And I thought I dealt with him not being present up until I had a few mental breakdowns lately. And I realized, so actually, I haven't dealt with my dad's absence, you know. So, yeah, my dad was never there. But I'd ask my mom, you know, as a kid, because I was that kid who felt the emptiness and the gap of a male figure not being there in my life. So I'd ask my mom and be like, "What happened?" You know, and she told me, she said, when Gwashi you're not, you know, his kid, you know, apparently that's what he said. That's what he said. He was like, "That's not my child," you know. And obviously as a woman, you know, as a mother, one thing you want to do after the situation is just back down and raise your kid on your own.
100%.
You know? So I just grew up not knowing that, okay, Jamina, I don't know, use the word deserted, but I was just not accepted, you know, in my dad's life, you know. So I just grew up knowing that. But when I started reaching my teenage years, it got worse, you know. And I was just like, "Hey, man, let me give this man an opportunity. Let me go find him and like just give him an opportunity, you know, to redeem himself, you know, if he still wants this relationship to happen." Because yes, I'm going to take what my mom said, but I still want to give you a chance as a person to hear you, what you have to say for yourself, you know?
Because you don't even know him, but you love him.
I love that man so much. It's so crazy, you know? It's so crazy how I wouldn't even pinpoint him even if he walked into a room, but I loved him so much. I loved him so much.
You know what? I relate to the story so much, right? Because my situation is that my dad was around, yeah. But then obviously my parents broke up for whatever reason, and my mother tried to keep me away from my dad. But my issue was that, I love that man. Like, he's my dad.
Yes.
For whatever reason you're trying to keep me away from him, it is detrimental for our relationship, right? But I love that man, you know.
That.
And eventually, my mother got it because it really was detrimental for our relationship.
Yeah.
And now we're fine. But it took me a very long time because for me, even when my dad passed away, we had a relationship. I love my old man and whatnot, but it was still difficult for me to really spend time with him because I had to choose now. Are you going to be with me or your dad?
Yes.
So I'm like, dude, you're pulling me away from my dad. Do you understand what I mean? And also, when my dad passed away, it hit me hard because I'm like, imagine all these years.
I get you.
It's not easy for me to go see my dad. Now he's gone.
And
We can't make up for
again.
that.
Never.
You know, that did a lot to my relationship with my mother. But now I can say we're good, man. Like, we're building. Like, I've
Yes.
forgiven her because I realized, Guti, like, my dad will never come back.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the times when I spent with him. At least I have memories with him. And the last conversation that I had with him literally leads me till this day.
Yeah.
I carry it with me wherever I go. And I've forgiven my mother because my mother didn't know what she was doing. She was
Yes.
also young when she had me.
Yes.
And she thought that she was protecting me by she wasn't even trying to deprive me, but deprive my dad from seeing me because he didn't want to pay, what do you call this, child maintenance sometimes
Yes.
for whatever reason.
Yes.
But he didn't realize, Guti, he was depriving me
You.
from my dad, you know? So, and one day I actually got my mother to admit that. I think for me, that was actually a beautiful moment and a turning point for our relationship.
Yes.
Because I was like, my mother knew, or rather knows, where she went wrong. And she's saying, I didn't know better.
She
And I'm
acknowledges
sorry.
that.
You know, like sometimes we need to forgive our parents or give them the benefit of the doubt because they're being our parents for the first time. They've
Yes.
never been our parents.
True.
They've never had kids. I am my mother's firstborn. So it's okay for her to make mistakes with me. I guess my sisters are lucky as fuck. But like, yeah, I just wanted to
Yeah.
share my story with you because you being personal and you being vulnerable with me. And I never want to make someone feel like they're talking and talking, they're sharing. And on the other side, I'm sitting, I'm listening, and I don't even relate. I completely relate, man. I really do.
I can also relate to your story so much because also when I received the call saying that my dad passed.
He did?
He did.
I thought he's still alive.
He did. In 2019. He passed and my mom called me and she was like, yo, your dad passed. I'm like, yo, you know? For a random kid who knew what his dad decision was, they would have said, oh, okay, you know? But for me, it was just, it hit home, you know? It hit home that I didn't get the opportunity to share beautiful moments with him, to even conversate, you know, and tell him how my life is, that I'm battling with my sexuality, you know. He never knew that. So when I heard that he passed, I was just so upset. So it also now opened more wounds, you know, and it was more complicated because remember, his family doesn't know me. They don't know who I am. But at the end of the day, I must go to the funeral. You know, so you know how black families before the funeral, there's preparations, seeing the corpse, you know, saying your last goodbyes. I couldn't even do that because I was just so afraid. You feel like because they don't know you. Like, what am I going to say when I get there? You know, so the only opportunity I got was to go to the funeral. And it was so breaking also listening to my other siblings talking so highly of him.
About your dad, because there's like 10 of you guys on that
much
side.
Of a great father he was.
And you didn't get to experience that. I'm sorry.
I was just like, okay. It was just like, it was like I'm watching a documentary about him, you know? Like the only reason I got to realize what type of person he is was me listening to people speaking about him after his death, his friends, his family, the mother of his other kids, the kids writing him poems, speaking about Ubaba. I'm like, okay, but that was so heartbreaking, and I just had to live with it. But on the same day, that's when I actually got to meet my family, and yeah. I just got to. They introduced me to the family. I was so happy to see actually I have siblings. I have a bigger brother. I have a bigger sister. And them saying, oh, you look like your dad. And I'm just like, I guess, you know, okay, I look like him, but do I even know that I look like him? You know, it was just so heartbreaking, man. It was so heartbreaking. But I just had to live with that. And yeah. But it does come back to haunt me. It does come back.
I'm really sorry that you never got to experience your dad.
Yeah.
As highly as your siblings speak about him, getting to know him, his love and everything. And even though they may say you look like him, but you don't really know how he looks like, but at least that's something that you can treasure.
Yeah.
And I hope and pray that you can find healing inside or even seek for healing so that you can get to a point where you're okay. Because I honestly can't imagine what it's like to grow up without a father figure. You know, I've been privileged enough. But putting myself in your shoes, I'm like, that's a lot of pain to carry, you know, because my dad passed away in 2013. But till this day, I look back, I'm like, I've been doing Jägermeister with my dad. Do you understand what I mean? I've been doing the TikToks.
That is so cool.
You know? But I mean, hey man, it is what it is, you know? And I'm very spiritual, and I know that you also believe in God.
Yes.
And there's a verse in the Bible that goes along the lines of, you need to be grateful for everything, good or bad, you know? Because at the end of the day, God has the best plans for you. So with all of that, I trust and believe that you'll receive the healing that you need, and you'll be able to move forward and know that God is by your side.
Thank you so much.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. And then now with the couple of minutes that we have, I just quickly want to celebrate you because I didn't anticipate all that is happening. Okay. TikTok, very quickly. When did you realize that like people are falling in love with you? They're following Moghelingz in the mall. They're starting to take pictures and stuff.
Yeah. 2021. Late 2021. Yeah, because I had moved to this side. So I had to leave home. After matriculating, I took a gap year and I pursued content creation. And I came this side to visit my aunt. And it wasn't me basically visiting him, but it was me trying to look for opportunities because I knew how much Joburg has opportunities, you know. So I came this side and I did more content, you know. I learned, because coming from a small town and moving to a big place like Joburg, it's a huge transition, you know, learning the culture. It was a thing. So I think when I started realizing that you're onto something, it was when I would get invites to come interviews, you know, just do interviews.
Come to a launch of like Black Panther or whatever, that vibe.
You know, that was the thing. I was like, oh, hey man, I'm doing something, you know. And obviously the pictures, you know, Moghelingz, kids. It's so heartwarming seeing young kids, even boys, like kids.
Just
it's just like,
Moghelingz.
Oh, we love you. Can I have a picture? He's like, okay, come get your picture, you know. And I think that's when I realized, whatever it is that I'm doing, it's good for me and for people too. I think that's why I'm still carrying it till this day. Yeah, that's why I'm still carrying it till this day, you know, because also there was a point in my life where I never understood why people loved me so much. But I think when you get to listen to the change you bring to their lives, you know, the impact you have in their lives, that's when I realized, oh, actually, you know, I'm a healer. You know, because it takes a 30-second TikTok for someone's day to like change, or for someone to smile, you know, or to laugh, you know. So when people used to tell me, hey, Moghelingz, this is happening in my family right now, and like I'm so depressed, I'm so sad, but just going through your profile and getting to laugh a little, you know, it's something. And thank you for doing that for us. Thank you for sharing your ghastly stories, your childhood stories with us, because they also help us remember how it was back in the days, you know, the beautiful moments we used to have as kids. So it just helps me realize and know why I'm in this industry. You know, I'm not here because I was lucky. You know, I'm here because God put me here, and there's a reason.
Purpose.
Yeah, there's a reason why I'm in this space.
And I also want to tell you why people love you. Right? The thing is that a lot of us, we struggle to understand really who we are. Do you understand what I mean? And sometimes small things shake people. I can even talk about myself here. Small things shake people. You don't know whether you're coming or going, but something is happening. You're in motion. Do you understand what I mean?
I get you.
Sometimes you walk into rooms and you shrink. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
You shrink. You need to choose which personality comes out now.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
We're trying to make
sometimes, what do you call it? Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
It
I was
kicks
about
in,
to say that,
right?
yes.
So then when we look at you, we're like, yeah, like you are all of us.
I'm
Yes,
representing
you have,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
you have all our confidence. You have
Yes.
it. Because when you walk into a room, we feel your presence.
Yes.
When we watch your TikToks, we feel your presence. You are so confident. Like I know when you had that sticker on your Instagram, you even shot a YouTube video, and everyone was asking you, where does
Do
this
you get the confidence
come from? It's because you know who you are, you know what you're about, you're living out your purpose. That's your superpower. A lot of us, we're in motion, like I'm saying, but we haven't really identified our superpower. Your confidence comes from you understanding and identifying and embracing and capitalizing on your superpower. That's what you've done, and that's why we love you. Very quickly, very quickly. Okay, so, girl, we've been talking.
Yeah.
Girl, we've been talking. Before I let you go, tell me about Uzalo, right?
Yes.
Because for you, you've always wanted to be on TV. It's always been the dream.
Yeah.
To a point where sometimes you'd even watch your YouTube videos on a TV screen because, Bella, you want to see yourself on TV.
Yes.
But now, how was it to actually be on a TV show that is watched by millions of South Africans around the world?
I don't think I realized what I was doing up until one of the cast members came to me and she was like, do you know how big you are? Do you know how big this opportunity is? You know, I think Uzalo is one of the most watched soapies in SABC 1. So I just being in the space with great legends like Wamam Baby Kele, you know, on the same set. It was just like, hey, okay, I'm here now, you know. I did also got a bit like shaken and a bit scared, you know, to say, but am I going to deliver what I'm supposed to deliver? Being watched by people that
These
I used
legends.
to, people I grew up watching, you know. And
You delivered.
I was like, listen,
Zobabonisa.
I never downplay the gift and the opportunities or the powers that God gave me. You know, I've learned that. So I think just when they started miking me and setting up the cameras to say, Moghelingz, you are needed on set, I walked like I knew what I was doing and I wasn't. I was like, I'm going on set now. Like, I put on that energy, that confidence, you know, to say, you know what, I'm going there and I'm going to kill
And
my
you
script.
had to be yourself on that set.
I had to, such that some of these legends that I'm talking about, they never knew who I was, you know, because they're not on social media a lot. But after seeing me on camera, they're like, come here. What are you Uban? What are you doing exactly? Please show us. What do you do? You know? And I got some really, really great advice to say, you're doing so amazing, kiddo. You're doing so amazing, you know, just watching you and how much of a natural you are on camera. It's so beautiful to watch, and to think that you're not experienced. It's just pure talent. It just makes it more even massive, you know. So the Uzalo cameo was such a big thing for me because, like you mentioned, that I used to like connect my cables just so I can see myself on TV, you know. I think also when I watched myself like on TV, it's just like, okay, it's happening.
Yes.
You know, it's happening. And I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for everything, man. And I just hope that it opened more doors because I do like to.
You will. Here we speak things into existence. In Jesus' name, you're going to get more roles.
Yeah.
You're going to be on our screens more.
Yeah.
I know you were on a TV show with OK Wasabi and is it Kanyisa?
Kanyisa Unfiltered.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, that's bringing your TV show.
It's actually going to air on YouTube. But I've done a few work for Netflix.
International, come here. Okay, before I let you go.
Yeah.
We quickly play a game because I just want to know your song taste, shoot taste, movie, whatever.
Okay.
So, if you were a song, which song would you be?
I'd be Starting Now by Brandy. It's a Disney song.
Just try to sing a little.
Starting now, there's no room left for wandering. Got a new vision of yourself.
Okay. I think you can sing.
Babe,
Ah.
talk about multi-talented.
If you were a shoe,
If I were a shoe, I'll be and I'm such like a shoe person. I'd be
kicks or heels?
kicks.
Kicks over heels any day.
The thing is, I have a big foot, so I
What
can't
size do you
wear heels. Hey, Sima, I'm a size 11.
Really?
So I don't have like sizes in the heels section because it's.
I hate them.
I think this is an opportunity for brands to do a
Capitalize.
collab,
Capitalize.
and we do sizes that are gonna accommodate people with big feet. You know, because why? You know,
You're going to lead us.
listen.
Amen.
I'll come back and I'll let you know. I'll come
Lastly,
back.
if you were a movie, which movie would you be?
If I were a movie, I'd be A Wrinkle in Time.
Okay, what's the plot there?
So the plot, it's these two kids, that lost their father in the middle of the universe. So they are, it's a journey where they find their strength and they find themselves in the midst of them finding their father who got lost in the universe, and yeah.
How do you resonate with that?
We just spoke about my dad, and I think in me trying to heal with him not being there, I also happen to find my purpose in life and find what makes me who I am, you know. So I just relate to the movie so much, and yeah.
Moghelingz, my superstar. Thank you so much for joining me. You're absolutely amazing. I enjoyed our conversation. I got lost in our conversation. Yeah. I felt all kinds of emotions. You know, an emotional roller coaster.
Yes.
I enjoyed the ride, my darling. I enjoyed it.
See that Gold Road City ride? What's the
yeah. There you have it. His name is Moghelingz. Do the most. Follow him on all social media platforms. I am Sima Fiyo, and this is the end. Thank you so much for joining us.
This is 5